friends, welcome back to my channel, Clover Rosie Art. Today I am going to draw my Friends Among Us characters as humans, part 2. If you haven't watched the first video, you totally should. I drew my Among Us character, my sister's Among Us character, and 2 of my Friends Among Us characters in that one. In this video, I will be drawing pictures of my 4 Friends Among Us characters. Those friends go as the usernames of Jard, Tim, Waffles, and Bees. First, as you can see, I am drawing Jard. Now, Jard's Among Us character has sort of been having an existential crisis and has been changing his name so many times that we play. I am obviously not going to draw all of his different names and colors and hats, so I decided to stick with drawing the original Jard. The original Jard was mostly cyan, but would also sometimes play as dark blue if cyan was taken. He always wore an angel halo and also had the Little Among Us character with him, which he called his son. He named the Little Among Us character's name Little Jim. All of us loved Little Jim. If Jard was the imposter, we would always make jokes about him not being a very good role model for Little Jim, and if Jard ever died, the other ghosts would circle Little Jim so he would feel less alone. I also gave Little Jim a halo because he was just so pure. Although why Among Us characters would bring their children on spaceships, I'm not so sure. Then, one horrid day, both the Little Jim and the halo disappeared, never to be seen again. Without Little Jim by his side, Jard's Among Us character spiraled into sadness and began to have an identity crisis. This has made Jard become so many different characters, such as Sprout, which is green with a sprout on his head, Glue, where he would stick to whatever he came in contact with, including other Among Us characters and dead bodies, Water, which was dark blue, and Jesus, where he was yellow with cheese on his head and would speak in all caps. Poor Jard. Little Jim meant everything to him, which is why I had to commemorate him in this drawing. Now, you may be thinking, how did Jard lose Little Jim and his halo? Well, the thing is, he never owned those things in the first place. Jard is really good with technology, so in his words, he changed a few zeros and ones and got them, since you normally would have to pay for those accessories. Jard is so smart. Well, apparently sometime Among Us found out and took them all away. Poor Little Jim is basically dead now, even though the Among Us pets and children normally can't die. We all miss Little Jim, but Jard misses Little Jim most out of all of us. Okay, now I'm going to stop talking about the sadness of Little Jim and talk about something that is funnier. Jard one time also played a trick on us in the form of the character Ambanan. The thing is, we had no idea who Ambanan was. It was a whole crazy thing. I will tell the whole story on the day I draw all of our Among Us characters together in a group drawing. I don't have time for the group drawing today, but I will definitely tell you all about it when I do in that video. It was so crazy and so funny too. Now, unlike when I mentioned it in my Among Us bullet journal setup, I now know the ending to this story because we didn't even know who Ambanan was before. Actually, Jard has his own YouTube channel too. It's called Geld. I'll link it in the description, but he hasn't posted there in months. It's very different from my channel though. It's a gaming channel. He has over 600 subscribers, which is so crazy. Anyway, as you can see here, I am coloring in Jard with this light cyan color. I'm also coloring Little Jim with the same cyan color. I have decided to draw Little Jim with a helmet on his head because I have no idea how I should draw his face. And sometimes it is better to do something like that if there is such an important person to someone and they see him one way, then they can be disappointed by the representation if it looks another way. That's sometimes why people are upset about what book characters look like in a movie version, since they've always pictured them one way, and now they're shown as another way. Now that both Jard and Little Jim's spacesuits are all colored in, I am coloring in the face shield parts first with the cyan and then with this light blue color. I used the same light blue color in the boot buckles and to outline Jard's name. I added these white little shines to the face shields and then colored in their halos with this heavenly golden color. It was always funny when Jard was imposter because he always seemed so innocent with his halo on when really he was evil. Mwahaha! Now that little Jim's halo is finished, he is all colored in. I still have to finish coloring Jard though. I colored in Jard's floofy hair with this very dark brown color. The brown went down so smoothly on the page. I love Ohuhu markers, and I really hope that I can get my own for Christmas. A big thanks to my little sister for sometimes letting me use hers. I colored in the center of the hair first, before going around the edges to make sure that the color stayed in the lines. It took a little while to color all of his hair in. After I was finished coloring all of his curly hair, I used the same brown for his eyebrows and the eyes. The brown eyes sort of blends in with the black, but it still looks pretty good. After I was finished with the eyes, I colored in his skin with something that looked like a tan color on the cap, but ended up being this really dark brown on paper, which is not Jard's skin color at all. I was totally freaking out when that happened. I ended up being able to lighten it up a bit, but it still looks too dark. I am so sorry, Jard, about that. At least I got your floofy hair, right? Okay, next up is Tim. Tim is actually played by my friend who is a girl, but she wanted to play as a boy in Among Us. So Tim is normally yellow with the red beanie on. Tim seems like he'd be the cool boy, so I try to show that in this drawing. I gave Tim spiky hair coming out from underneath his cool beanie. The person who played as Tim went through a few different names before she settled on the name Tim. She actually gave Tim a very interesting backstory that progressed as we played Among Us. He was more of a bad boy than a cool boy before, and had a few questionable Among Us usernames, such as Get in the Van Kids and a few others. Then she changed it to In Rehab, and then after that, it was Tim. Now that Tim has departed from his bad boy ways, he has just become a cool boy. Although one time we were playing on public, and there was this person named Prison Mike. And she kept having Tim following him around, saying that it was like a love story. Romeo and Juliet. Mike's in prison and Tim's not. Then Prison Mike killed my character twice, and I was all like, Tim, your boyfriend killed your friend twice. I don't think Prison Mike is a very good influence on Tim. We wouldn't want him to revert back to his bad boy ways, now would we? Either way, it's always funny to play with my friends and then put it on public if we don't have enough people. We meet some very interesting characters that way. I think it's funny that in the game, Tim has on his helmet and then a red beanie on top of his helmet. The beanie just shows how cool he is though, even if it's not directly on his head. My friend who plays as Tim actually has a red beanie and a yellow sweater, so she can wear an outfit inspired by Tim. That would be funny if one day my friends and I just wore outfits inspired by our Among Us characters. The only thing is, I literally own no orange shirts whatsoever. I do have this coral shirt that could probably work. I can't put an egg on my head for real, but I could draw an egg with an orange yolk and then tape it onto my head. I did that before. Now I am coloring in Tim's Among Us spacesuit with this bright yellow color since I am finished outlining him. Before, when he was a bad boy, he would wear all black, which was good for hiding in the shadows, but now that he's good, he has nothing to hide and wears a stylish yellow cool spacesuit. It really is very interesting, all of these things that go on with our Among Us characters in Among Us. We have so many inside jokes from it. I don't have anything interesting like that for my character. Well, one time I did get imposter 3 times in a row when we were first starting off playing Among Us. They were sus to me the 3rd time, and I was all like, guys, I can't be imposter 3 times in a row, can I? And then I won. When Jard was Sprout would only communicate in pictures, which was really funny. We also have been thinking of other things we could do in Among Us, like change our names to a different color, and we can't specify if we are talking about the name or the color. It would be so chaotic. Also, another fun thing that we were talking about is that we would only be allowed to say 3 words in meetings, which would be so hard. Bees was the one who had both of those ideas. Also, we could try playing hide and seek in Among Us sometime. We need to mix it up a bit since we have played normally so many times. Okay, now I'm finished Tim. The last drawing for this video is of my two friends, Waffle and Bees. Much like 007 and Scrunchy, they are girlfriend and boyfriend, so I decided to draw them together holding hands. Waffle also plays as Cyan like Jard, but she plays with a nest and egg hat on her head, so we sort of both have eggs on our heads. Bees is red with the scary mask on, but I opted not to draw that because I don't like drawing very scary stuff, even though it's not very scary. But Bees always asks us a question when we are playing Among Us in chat, so I will ask you that question, and you can comment your answer to it down below. The question is, bees? Yes, that is the question. Bees is the commander of the bee army. For a few days, he wasn't able to play Among Us with us because he was too busy with the war against the wasps. Of course, Bees in the bee army won. Because of that, I drew two bees on one side of Bees to represent how he is the leader of the bee army. Waffle also likes to draw, and actually drew her own version of her character one time. It's not posted anywhere, I don't think, but I try to draw my version of her character sort of similar, although it does look different. I remembered her version of Waffle having shorter hair, but not too short, so I gave Waffle some hair that goes right past her shoulders. This hair sort of actually reminds me of my hair and hairstyle, although mine's a little longer than that. I really love how Waffle turned out. I also like how Waffle and Bees are in a different position than Scrunchy and 007. It looks like they're running throughout the spaceship together, finishing their tasks. Or they're both imposters and they're running around the spaceship sabotaging and getting rid of crewmates. Dun dun dun! Wow, I just realized that Waffle is the only girl that I have drawn in this video. Last video was the complete opposite with 3 girls and 1 boy. I guess this is good so I can get better at drawing boys though. And I gave all of the boys different hairstyles, which is good practice. I know that I'm not drawing Tim anymore, but I just remembered another funny story about Tim. One time we were playing on public and Tim was the imposter. Tim told us that she was the imposter but didn't want to get voted out, so even though Jard and I were crewmates, in chat Jard wrote, "I saw Tim do asteroids," and I said, "I saw Tim do medbay scan," therefore clearing Tim even though Tim was the imposter. And guess what? Tim never got voted out. Yay! I'm sure everyone was so confused when they saw that Tim was the imposter while the 2 people that were vouching were crewmates. Anyway, let's get back to talking about Waffle and Bees. Sometimes Scrunchy's cousin plays Among Us with us, and he goes as the username of Pancake. So it's perfect, since we both have a pancake and a waffle. Waffle made up an admin task song to the tune of Spider-Man when we were playing one time, and now we always sing it whenever we're doing admin tasks. It goes like this. Admin tasks, there's so many admin tasks. Where they are, I don't know, but I just gotta go, and do some admin tasks. One time I made up another verse to it when an imposter killed me while I was doing admin tasks. My part goes, admin tasks is being alive too much to ask. That song was stuck in my head the whole night after Waffle made it up. So thanks Waffle so much for that. Now that I have finished outlining both Waffle and Bees, it's time to color them. I am coloring Waffle the same cyan color that I used to color Jard's astronaut suit earlier in this video. Wow, in the last video I drew 2 people who played as black, and in this video I drew 2 people who play as cyan. That's funny. If Jard and Waffle were both playing at the same time, Waffle would normally keep her cyan color and Jard would change to dark blue. Now, of course, Jard has so many different colors, but we already went over that whole story. Now I am using my bright red marker that I used for Tim's beanie to color in Bee's astronaut suit. Oh my gosh, now that I'm coloring in Bees with the red, Waffle and Bees remind me so much of water and fire. That's so cool. I love the contrast of their colors. Wow, I also just realized that Bee's normal Among Us character is basically the stereotypical imposter character, Red with the mask, and everyone knows that Red is always sus. It always takes a little while to color in the astronaut suit since there's so much space to color. After I finished coloring in Bee's astronaut suit, I used the cyan to create the shadow and their face shield parts of the helmets. I'm not sure why I didn't just finish the face shield parts all at once, but instead, I outlined their names in the different colors of the corners. Cyan for Waffle's name and red for Bee's name, of course. Then I used my black fineliner to color the black stripes on the bees. bees. I'm sure that Bees will be very happy that I included a few bees next to his character. I began to color Waffle's hair this slightly darker blue color after that. I just realized that Waffle is the only character in this video with like the dyed sort of hair color. Waffle dyes the ends of her hair a lot in real life, so this is a pretty accurate representation of her Among Us character. I love how the darker blue looks with the lighter blue. I also used that same darker blue to color in Waffle's eyes too. After that was finished, I finished coloring their face shields along with coloring in the two bees that are next to Bees with this golden color, the same color that I used for Jared's halo. The fact that they are the same color as halos just shows how great bees are. Then I colored Waffle's nest and egg hat, and then Bee's hair with the light brown color. After I finished coloring their skin with the tan color, I was finished with the final drawing. I had so much fun with both of the videos in this short series, and I can't wait until I draw all of these characters together. I may even add other people who sometimes play with us into the group picture. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll get notified every time I post. I upload every Wednesday, Saturday, and just for the month of December, I am also trying to post on Mondays too. Trying is the key word though. Make sure to answer the question, bees, in the comments down below. Usually we just answer the question with a simple yes or no, but I can't make any promises that the bee army won't attack you if you say no. Bye, and remember, keep being creative.